Hello and shalom, friends. This is Mayim Vega and Justin Nault coming to you from the great country of Texas. Just kidding. Have you ever felt trapped by diet culture, constantly chasing the next quick fix health trend that promises results but leaves you more frustrated? What if the real answer to health wasn't in restricting your food or pushing your body to the limit with extreme workouts, but in nourishment, self love, and holistic well being? Our guest today, Justin Nault, the founder of Clovis, is on a mission to expose the lies of diet culture and empower people to reclaim their health through self acceptance, and sustainable lifestyle changes. At Arukah Holistic Life Academy, we believe in a holistic approach to wellness, and Justin's message aligns perfectly with our vision. Just like the transformational journey we offer in our Holistic Healer certification program, Justin helps people break free from the toxic trends that have left them feeling trapped in a cycle of frustration and disillusionment. In this episode, we're going to explore how Justin is leading a revolution in health, focusing on healing your metabolism, embracing nourishment, and living authentically. Tune in to learn how to break free from toxic health myths and step into true freedom and well-being. Hello, Justin. Thank you. And I'm so glad we got to connect after all the craziness this morning.
I know, me too. Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored.
Awesome. So you have a popular YouTube channel and you have a very unique take on health and wellness. So what do you believe is the real root cause of the obesity epidemic?
I love that question because it usually goes in a direction people don't expect. I actually think what we're dealing with is less so a health and wellness crisis. That's a symptom of it, but the root cause is essentially an identity crisis. What we're dealing with, what I think to be one of the primary drivers of both the obesity epidemic and the chronic disease epidemic, is that people are living lives that are out of alignment with the person that they want to be in the world. So, the same way that we may look at alcoholism or drug addiction or something like that as a way to dissociate and escape the pain of present moment reality, I think the same is true of health and wellness, diet, fitness, etc. And I believe that diet and fitness culture prey on this by keeping people stuck, by keeping them in a low energy state, by continually reminding them that they are not enough as they are and that they have to punish themselves and restrict and sacrifice, quote unquote, no pain, no gain. And it just keeps them in an endless cycle of dieting and over exercising and really destroying their health and wellness.
Yes, that is a very super interesting answer. So what's your approach then? So and I know it has to do with self-love and health and wellness. I'm sure it has something to do with nutrition as well and exercise, right? So
Yeah.
how's your approach different? How do you help people?
Yeah, so the way I describe it is like we don't have an information problem, right? I break down nutrition very simply into food versus poison. Food is only good for you in any amount. Yes, I am saying that the restriction of calories does not equal good health, and we can dive into that. But food is only good for you in any amount. Poison is only bad for you in any amount. That is as simple as nutrition can get. So I have the building blocks of my programs are built on that. And yes, we can dive into macros, we can dive into when to eat, how much to eat, what type of fitness to do, all the lifestyle things that will help you get the weight off if you're already dealing with a significant amount of body fat or something that you want to change about your body. But we have to help people understand that the reason for their self sabotage behavioral patterns and the reason why they feel like they've tried everything and nothing works is an internal game. So we have to do the internal work first. And an easy way for me to describe this is, let's say someone comes to me and they're 100 pounds overweight. They may have a belief that I will be healthy when I lose 100 pounds. And this is true of everything. I work with entrepreneurs as well. I will be happy when I have $5 million dollars in my bank account. I will be happy when I own a Ferrari. I will be happy when, like, story, 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 story. It's always happiness, self love, the way we feel about ourselves will improve when we achieve XYZ external validation, right? So I try to help people see, and if anybody is familiar with like manifestation or anything like that, we shift the lens and we say becoming a healthy person is a light switch decision. You make it very quickly and you decide, I am now a healthy person. I'm going to live as a healthy person. As a result of that, over time, I will lose 100 pounds. But I'm a healthy person today. The same way with an entrepreneur, you need to shift into the identity of a successful entrepreneur if you want to increase the amount of money that you're doing or whatever. If you want your romantic relationship to be better, you need to shift into the identity of being the very best romantic partner, and you will manifest a beautiful relationship on the other side of that. But it has to start with an identity shift, which is why I start every single client with self love work. And we move into the core identity. Where do your beliefs about yourself come from? And can we reprogram them in a way that sets you up for success, where you're making healthy choices because you love yourself and you deserve the best? You're not trying to make diet culture choices because you hate yourself and you think you're not good enough or you think you're too fat. It's a very different lens through which to view reality.
Okay, I love it. I love it. And I think that's a very foundational sort of root cause approach to weight loss. And really, you could apply that to anything, just like you said, you know, apply that to, health success, financial success, relationship success, almost any kind of endeavor that you want to push yourself to do. You can start by laying the foundation of, why do you want to do it? Um, you know, why do you deserve it? you know,
Mm-hmm.
different things like that. Okay, so that's great. I think that's very clear to me, being a coach myself and understanding that foundation. But I don't know that, a lot of people that listen to me, on this channel, I don't know that they understand the depth of what you said, because you said it so very quickly, and simply.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering, perhaps could you give some maybe analogies or stories that can help
Mm-hmm.
people drive what you're saying down deeper?
Yeah, of course. So basically, the if we we'll work backwards and we'll go with complex first, right? Like what I'm essentially doing is depth psychology, what may be considered Jungian depth psychology, or I'm helping people understand where their beliefs about self come from. So if we go all the way back to childhood, right, the things that got us more love and approval from our parents ends up in our ego. The things that took love away or got us, punished or shamed ends up in our shadow. So this actually builds us as human beings. It follows us into adulthood. And that's where a lot of our beliefs of self come from. Or am I deserving of being healthy? Or it's like they're kind of looking out in the world of like, oh, optimal health and wellness, that's for other people. That's for the people with the six packs. It's almost like they're like a different species or something. That's for other people, but I'm here stuck with these problems and I'm broken and my body is like uniquely flawed in some way. It's like people tend to blame themselves instead of blaming the information, right? So I help them tease that apart, where it's like you're actually taught from the time you're very young to obey authority. This idea of some perception of authority. If someone's in a white lab coat, we have to do what they tell us to do. If we need to go to the bathroom in school, we need permission from a teacher, right? So this authority piece, people are detaching from self. So the tangible, tactical, to make it more simple, is I have people doing daily exercises, right? If somebody wanted bigger biceps, they'd have to do bicep curls. So we're doing self love bicep curls every single day. We're getting the reps in of self love for people who have never focused on this before. So the first exercise I give people is called daily mirror work. You're just standing in a mirror every day, looking yourself in the eyes and saying, I love you 10 times out loud. And you're really trying to mean it. And it's okay if in the beginning it's kind of a fake it till you make it approach. We still want to get in the habit of looking at ourselves and giving love to self, right? So we start there. And it's amazing to see what happens here because I'll have people that come to me that are happy to follow the diet and exercise portion of whatever program I create for them. And we're 60 days in, right? And they're like, they're eating well and they've changed their food habits and all these things. I'm like, how's the daily mirror work going? Like, well, I tried it once and I never went back in the mirror and I never did it again, right? Or some people will, the first time they do it, they get to the third I love you and they're bawling their eyes out. They just start crying, right? It's like there's a disconnect here between the soul that is sitting inside of this human avatar that we have decided because it has excess body fat, it's not good or it's not beautiful or it's not worthy or whatever, all of these stories that we have that are actually based on societal standards and the opinion of others. So we're just getting to a place where we can get people to connect with themselves. I also do a journal prompt called Food and You, where we go all the way back to childhood. When if you're a woman, when was the first time you saw your mom count calories or try to fit into her skinny jeans or weigh herself every morning, right? And it's so interesting. It's really beautiful because I have many clients have come to me and said, "Well, no, no, it's not my parents' fault. My mom was wonderful and she told me how beautiful I am and she never said anything about my body image and she told me I'm a wonderful, strong woman and she loves me so much and all of the words, the language was positive, just positive affirmations every day. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. When was the first time you saw your mom weigh herself? Oh, my mom weighed herself every day. She was always trying to fit into her skinny jeans. At the cookout, she's just eating a salad and she's always counting her calories and trying to be a different size, right? There's an amazing coach, his name's Peter Crone, and he has a really amazing quote where he says, children will do a terrible job listening to you, and they will do an amazing job becoming you. So it really doesn't matter what mom and dad said to you. It's the monkey see, monkey do as a child when you're literally, your mirror neurons are wired to make you mimic the people that you've grown up around, right? So this is what we're trying to tease apart and just finding little baby step ways of doing sort of self-love bicep curls and making love of self and the practice of love of self an integral part of your daily routine. It's no longer just like if you're going to track what you eat every day or you're going to make sure you go for walks every day or whatever, we need to program self love the same way. So we do it in baby steps.
Yeah, I think an important thing to note is also that self-love is not the same thing as selfishness. Selfishness, I would define it as when you only care about your own interests and you don't care about hurting other people. But
Mm,
self-love actually helps you love other people more and
mm,
helps you be a better person, to humanity more.
yeah. Yeah.
I think that's, a really important thing to say, especially to people with like religious backgrounds and things like that, where um, self-nullification is emphasized,
Mhm.
um, and there's not really this understanding of how to love yourself, and
Yeah.
we're also part of God's creation. So if we're supposed to love others, which I believe we should,
Mm,
why not the first person that and the most and the person that you have to rely on the most, in your life, it's
mhm, mhm.
yourself. You got to start by loving yourself.
Yeah.
Now I know you said something about food versus poison. Can you
Mhm.
elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. When we break it down, I'm looking at, a simple, like you said, I like simple analogies as well. You could hike through the wilderness every day for the next 100 years. You will never stumble upon a bagel tree. It's not going to happen. It's not been provided to us by nature, right? And then you get into where does the wheat come from for the bagel, and we get into monocrop agriculture and human beings like destroying entire ecosystems to make 1,000 acres of one crop with wheat that needs pesticides and all these things. That's like a very unnatural situation, right? So what we're trying to do is just break it down simply. Is this a species appropriate food? Meaning, if you found this in nature and put it into your body, would it be beneficial to you? And people use terms like the paleo diet or whatever, and there's infighting and debate about what is paleo and what is not. But it's really very simple. So the foundation of everything that I do starts with my approved foods list, which is over 110 foods to choose from, and they're just single ingredient, nutrient dense whole foods that exist in nature. And then I'll use these. I make memes or images online where and this is the thing. This is where we understand we don't have an information problem. People kind of know what to do when it comes to eating. Because if I took 1,000 random adults, probably even children, honestly, in America, and I just put a picture of steak on the screen and a picture of Pop Tarts on the screen, and I said one must be labeled food and one must be labeled poison, which one is which? Nobody's going to fail that test. 1,000 out of 1,000 people are going to say the steak is food and the Pop Tarts are poison. So they know. And I know the word poison can be, triggering for people, and I'm doing that on purpose to break it down and remove all of the nonsense and complexity of diet culture. Because the truth of the matter is, most people, especially people who are considered, I don't like the term, but the medical term clinically obese, those people are deeply malnourished. If I run blood work on them, they usually have an average of 10 to 15 micronutrient deficiencies. And the entirety of diet and fitness culture will tell them that they have too much energy because they'll say calories in, calories out is energy in, energy out. But that's really not the equation. The true equation of ATP energy output in human cells is nutrients in, energy out, right? Like my stainless steel mug here has a caloric content if I were to burn it for energy. That doesn't mean I should put this in my body and the calories I'm getting from stainless steel are somehow the same as the calories I'm getting from steak. It's a ridiculous argument. So that's what I try to help people see is that if you change the food quality, everything changes. And then you don't have to absolutely punish yourself in the gym. You don't have to restrict yourself to 1,200 calories a day or whatever. And you're actually digging the hole even deeper, the metabolic hole. And it's the reason why if you know anyone who's, 200 pounds overweight or type 2 diabetic or something like that, they don't have high energy symptoms. They have low energy. They're tired all the time. They have no libido. Their hair's thinning or falling out. They bruise easily. Their teeth are sensitive. Like all of these things are a low energy problem. So it's trying to help people understand that step one of solving something like clinical obesity is nourishment, eating more food, literally. Virtually every client that ever comes to me, they're eating more food than they were prior to working with me, and they still lose body fat.
More real food.
Exactly, exactly. That's the point, right? They're eating more food and less poison. And then the calorie game kind of goes out the window.
Awesome. Okay, and that's really it's difficult to live life wondering how many calories are in every single thing that you
Oh,
eat, unless you are doing something like Weight Watchers, where it's like literally, um, calculated for you. But
hmm
yeah, otherwise it's pretty ridiculous, and it's a lot better and more natural to live by principle and just having a base knowledge, understanding of what real food is and what it does to your body. So absolutely,
mm,
that's wonderful.
yeah.
So I know
Yeah.
you have.
Sorry, continue.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. I really think of myself like fundamentally as a coach, like I'm an architect of freedom. That's it. I'm offering you freedom. I'm not offering you a diet plan. I'm not offering you workout routines. I'm not offering you what diet and fitness culture offers you. I'm offering you freedom. I never count calories. I don't know how much of everything I eat every day. Now, if I were going to be featured on the cover of Men's Health, right? Like I work with professional athletes. I help them do weight cuts for MMA fights and everything. Like if I wanted to just like get down to 7% body fat for some photo shoot, I know how to do that. But I'm not confusing myself into thinking that that's a healthy process. It is not a healthy process. It's a damaging process to my metabolism to look in an unnatural way to impress somebody on the cover of a magazine, right? So it's really important to understand what I'm helping people see. Most people don't want to be Instagram models. They don't want to be competing in the CrossFit games. If you just want to live a happy, healthy life of optimal health and wellness, I'm offering you freedom. You should not have to know how many calories you're eating. You shouldn't have to know how many macros you're hitting, all these things. It's, if I'm hungry and I eat real food, I will be healthy. That's it.
Yeah, I love that. And also because when you teach people how to eat properly, they're not just losing weight, but they're, like you said, they're getting the nutrients that they need, and so they're becoming healthier. And really, a lot of people just want to lose weight, but that's a very superficial thing. Really, the goal should be to be at optimal health. So
Exactly.
yeah, I totally agree with your philosophy and the way that you do things. That's just awesome.
Yeah.
And I love how you said that, you help people attain freedom,
hmm
because it is very enslaving to have to abide by a set of rules all the time, or for a short time, to meet certain goals. Not that we shouldn't do it sometimes, to do something that we want, but to live like that forever, it's just not sustainable. But instead, when you're educating people with principles that are, that can be used forever, really, for your whole entire life,
hmm
that's so much more sustainable than any pill or regimen, whether it's a nutrient regimen or an exercise regimen or anything like that, just to reprogram your brain and your lifestyle to
hmm
become a healthy one, so that you don't have to do temporary things to make you healthy for a temporary amount of time.
Yeah, that's the identity shift. That's it. I am a healthy person. If you come into one of my programs and you give me 90 days, you will never have to hire any health coach again. You'll never have to sign up for another. It's the last program you will ever need. This is the blueprint for riding off into the sunset? And like you said, we're talking about the 99% of the time, right? Like I'm a purple belt in jujitsu. I have dry fasted, no food, no water for 7 days, right? Was that the best thing I could have done for my optimal health and wellness? It was a spiritual thing that I was doing for a specific reason, right? So we can challenge ourselves, like you said, for periods of time. We can count calories, we can track macros, we can do challenging athletic endeavors, we can do things like fasting for spiritual reasons or whatever we're trying to do. But that we're talking about the 99% of the time, the day to day, your health is just on autopilot and you're living with optimal health and wellness. you can certainly take on challenging endeavors or put your body through amazing experiences or unique consciousness experiences. And you're actually more resilient to actually go through those things and get the benefits, the psychological benefits, the spiritual benefits, all the things that can come from doing hard things, you know?
Absolutely. So you talk about social media and how what kind of an impact it has on people's health and wellness today. Could you talk a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there are very important stories that aren't told, right? Like we go back to my favorite example of this is I always tell people to just Google Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in the original X-Men movie in the year 2000 versus Hugh Jackman X-Men the year 2024. And you will see a wildly different physical specimen. And the reason for that is people don't understand. It's like frogs in boiling water, right? They don't even try to jump out. They just boil to death because the change is happening so slowly. They don't recognize what's happening. In the year 2000, there was no social media. There was no Instagram, no YouTube, no nothing. So Hugh Jackman at that time was peak physical male health. And if you look at his body from the year 2000, that guy, according to today's societal standards, he couldn't sell $10 fitness plans on Instagram. People would call him chubby. They'd say he has small muscles. They'd say things like, "Do you even lift, bro?" And like be teasing him because he doesn't have what is the ideal male physique by societal standards in 2024. So what happened is we have social media, we filters got better, and there is an app where you click one button and you have shredded six-pack abs, right? And so everything that we're seeing in our minds is completely unnatural. It's edited, it's altered, it's changed, it's tweaked, right? Plastic surgery since Instagram has gone through the roof. Cheek fillers, chin deals, like all the different things that people are doing because they're actually they get used to seeing themselves with a filter on their own face. And then they get in the mirror like, who is that person? That person's ugly. And it's like, no, you're just posting 3 times a day with a filter that you put on your face. You're a beautiful human being. And you have tricked your mind into thinking that this artificial thing that is social media is real. So everyone's minds have been so confused. And a term I use for this, because I know a lot of very high level influencers, a lot of very high level athletes, the term that I use for this is we have a lot of infertile six packs. These are human beings that have gone so extreme to get chiseled and shredded and look a certain way that's completely unnatural that they may look good on in a photo. Their metabolic health is disastrous. These are 30-year-old men that are on anabolic steroids and all these things. They have the natural testosterone levels of a 75-year-old man because they've destroyed their health to achieve an unnatural aesthetic. And that's what social media has done to us. So I actually have clients come in and we go through their For You page on Instagram and I teach them how to click the 3 little dots and say, I'm not interested in this post. Anything that is bikini models or six-pack abs or celebrities and this, that, the other thing, we remove it from the feed. And I tell people the story of in the mid 2010s, the Kardashians actually started this trend because they were getting a lot of photos from paparazzi. So the mother of the Kardashians actually contacted all of the local paparazzi, who don't make a lot of money, by the way, and said, hey, listen, take as many pictures of us as you want. Send us the pictures first. Our team will Photoshop the pictures to make sure these girls look picture perfect, even in candid shots. We'll send the photos back to you, and we're going to pay you more than the magazines pay you. So it's all these little things, these little steps through social media and pop culture that have happened that people aren't aware of that are just constantly designed to make you think that you are not enough as you are.
Mm, yeah. Wow, that's pretty deep and really important to know how much of an impact that it has. I
Mhm.
have a lot of children. I have 7 children, and I do
Wow.
try to help guide them in their use of their devices and social media and things like that.
Wow, that's beautiful. 7 kids. I have my first on the way. I'm like, I need to learn everything from you. That's
That's
amazing.
awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
well, congratulations on your coming
Thank you so
baby.
much. Yeah. I appreciate that.
So what are some simple daily habits that practical things that people can adopt today, let's say, to start seeing some improvements in their health?
Sure. If we keep it as simple as humanly possible, you can go to Instagram, DM me, ask me for my foods list. And or I also have justinnault.com/foods with an S list, justinnault.com/foods list. You can get it there. I'll send you my foods list. It's got over 110 items to choose from, so plenty of variety. It actually teaches you how to read ingredients labels, so you can still purchase packaged foods if the ingredients are correct. It's like a training on what is food and what is poison. Honestly, that's it. If the only thing you did was make sure that all the food, at least in your household where you can control it, it exists on that foods list, and anytime you're hungry, you're just eating something from that foods list, it will completely transform not just your health, but your life in 90 days. Your mood, your cognitive function, the way you communicate with people, everything changes when your cells have what they need to operate as a healthy human being. So that's like the one daily habit is just go through this process of the foods. And then we can get more detailed, right? Like I'll tell people in terms of tracking, right? If you give me 90 days and I teach you what to track and how to track it, we're setting you up so that you never, ever, ever have to track again, right? Like I don't want any humans to ever have to track their food always, but it's like personal finances. If you're deeply in debt and the amount of money you're making on your paycheck is not enough to cover that debt, we have to get granular. We have to track, we have to see where's the money going out, where's the money coming in, where's the discrepancies, and we have to create a plan for like financial literacy, and then we can actually put your finances in an automated situation where things get deposited and withdrawn correctly. We get you out of debt, all these things, right? Think of getting out of debt as like getting the body fat off. We have to pay attention for a period of time to correct the damage that's already been done and then give you a blueprint for riding off into the sunset. And some of those daily habits that are a little more granular is like just if you want to lose some weight, just get 1 gram of protein per pound of ideal body weight. So if you want to weigh 130 pounds, just get 130 grams of protein per day. Seed oils are another huge one. I would just go through, make sure that you're not consuming any seed oils, check the labels for canola oil, soybean oil, sunflower oil, peanut oil, all these different things, and just take those out of your life. You'll be shocked. It's probably going to be in 95% of the foods in your pantry. They're everywhere. The average American's getting 3 to 5 tablespoons of seed oils a day without knowing it, which is astonishing.
How do you
Um,
feel about peanut butter? Because my children love peanut butter.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times with peanut butter, you can get peanut butter without peanut oil in it. You're actually just getting the peanut, like the crushed up peanuts. I don't have a huge problem with it. For me personally, I would prefer something like blanched almond butter. But let's say like you have your kids on like single ingredient whole foods diet and you're getting them like an organic peanut butter where the ingredients are like peanuts, salt, and water, like you're gonna be just fine. I wouldn't worry about that at all. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, you can go to like Sprouts or Whole Foods and they have a machine that will crush like peanuts right there for you. And it's all you're getting is
Oh
peanuts and a little bit of
yeah.
salt. So that's really good.
That's amazing. That's the way to do it. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. So, what is the best way to get a hold of you? Because I know you're on Instagram, right? You've
Mhm.
got Instagram, Justin Nault Official. You've got a website,
Yep.
and then you're on YouTube.
Hmm.
So, out of all of those, is there anything else that you're on?
Yeah, TikTok. TikTok's actually my biggest platform right now. So the biggest following that I have is over there on TikTok. That's a real busy page.
And Facebook too. You're on Facebook, right?
And Facebook as well. Yeah, we also have so all of my social media handles are the same. It's at Justin Nault Official, and you can find me anywhere with that. And then Facebook, I have the Clovis Academy, which is a private Facebook group. You can request to join, and we'll let you into that group. It's private. It's a safe space. It's amazing, incredible people in there. It's about 11,200 members. So if you want to get into a community of like-minded people, that's definitely an amazing place to go. That's just the Clovis Academy on Facebook, so you can search that, and it's very easy to find.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as we wrap up, what is just a closing thought that you'd like to leave with everyone?
You are worthy of optimal health, exactly as you are. You do not need to change anything about your authentic self to magically become deserving of health and wellness. You are ready for this right now. So if this conversation speaks to you in any way, that's your intuition talking to you. Don't ignore that. Take action.
Beautiful. Well, have a wonderful weekend, Justin. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Right back at you. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Algar and I am the host at Expertise TV, and I'm very excited to be introducing you to our guest today, Mayim Vega. Now, Mayim Vega is a former NASA computer scientist turned holistic healer after facing a very personal health crisis, which the modern medical system could not resolve. In 2009, she founded Arukah.com, which offers an holistic healer certification program focusing on 3 pillars: naturopathic herbalism, holistic life coaching, and online business and marketing to empower people to become holistic healers and achieve maximum impact in the world. Mayim combines her scientific background, natural healing methods, and faith in the creator and great physician to guide others on a path to personal and professional well-being. Mayim, it's clear that you are very passionate about the topic of holistic health and particularly helping people who are wanting to transition into this approach. How did you find yourself in this line of work, and why is this work so important to you?
Thank you, Ashley, for taking the time to speak with me. And I'd love to answer that question. So the way I found myself in this line of work starts with my story of when I transitioned from becoming a computer scientist at the NASA Ames Research Center to becoming an entrepreneur and building my first online business in digital marketing. And the reason why I did that is so that I could stay at home and be with my newly born son at the time. And now I have 7 children of my own, and I always wanted to homeschool them and just be there for them. And so that's why I became an entrepreneur. But my first few years as an entrepreneur was extremely difficult. And I thought it was healthy, but later on, after all my studies, I realized there were a lot of things that I was doing that was not very healthy. They were not very healthy habits that I had. And what ended up happening was I got really sick, and I thought I was on my deathbed. And I was rushed to the emergency room, and the doctor actually thought that I had a brain tumor. But after extensive testing and examination, she told me that there was nothing wrong with me. I just, I was experiencing a lot of pain, but they had nothing for me. There was nothing they could do for me. She said that she could give me some really strong painkillers, but that's really it. She couldn't really get rid of the problem. And so I took the painkillers, but again, painkillers and any pharmaceutical drug never address the root cause of illness and disease. And that's exactly why this line of work is so important to me, and why I went on my own personal journey to become a holistic healer, to study nutrition, herbalism, holistic health, and holistic life coaching, is because we all know people, and maybe probably even ourselves, who, just like me, went to the modern medical system because that's the expected thing to do. That's a normal thing to do. And, tried to get health and healing that way, but hit a dead end, hit a brick wall, and we either got medications that didn't work, or that only worked for a while, or that caused side effects that were so terrible that we had to get on other medications, plural, and maybe even the medication or medications caused side effects that caused other health issues. And sometimes the health issues are worse than the first problem that you originally had. And we're on this ridiculous roller coaster of drug after drug, after treatment, after procedure, because the modern medical system never addresses the root cause. And medical professionals who have woken up know this. And that's why I have medical professionals in my program, including, doctors, nurses, nurse practitioners, medical technicians, etc., who are learning from me, who are, taking the certification program because they realize that our system is broken and we need to fix it. It is our destiny as humanity to overcome all this nonsense, really. We can do better, and we will do better. I know it. And that's why, in my certification program, sometimes I joke around. No, it's not really a joke, but I say, I'm empowering not just holistic healers, but holistic warriors. We're in a battle. We're in a battle over our own health and healing to safeguard and protect that, and that of our families and friends and community, of course, as well. And we're also in a battle against very powerful people who, because of profits, like to suppress holistic health and healing truths to keep us just sick enough so that we need something, pharmaceuticals, but not well enough to ever get off them. That is truly the goal of big pharma, of the pharmaceutical industry. It's not true. They don't want to heal us. They don't want to cure us. They want to keep us just sick enough so that we keep giving them our money. And you know what? Me personally, I have better things to spend with my money, like on good food, clean herbs, things that don't cause these ridiculous side effects that we experience with pharmaceutical drugs.
Thank you, Mayim. So that brings me to my next question. What are some of the key benefits of transitioning from the conventional healing approach to a holistic approach in health and healing?
Okay, so that's another really great and important question. The key benefits of transitioning from conventional healing to a holistic approach are, right now, I can think of three main reasons. Number one, the holistic approach is safer. Number two, the holistic approach is more effective. And number three, the holistic approach is the true approach that gets to the root cause. Okay. Now, I'd like to illustrate the first point, the safety of holistic medicine. If someone who was taking some, let's say blood pressure medication or something like that, visited me at my house, let's say I invited them over for dinner, and let's say they had to take some of their medicine and they dropped one of their pills, right, in my dining room or in my living room floor. Now, I have very small children. I have a 4-year-old. And what if my 4-year-old found that pill on the floor and thought it was candy or something like that and put it in her mouth and ate it? What would happen? I would immediately have to call the poison control center to get that pill out of her system, because those pills can have deadly side effects. But what if someone dropped a vitamin C pill or a tincture, and one of my children found it? For the most part, if they found it and took it, they might have a little diarrhea. It might be really spicy on their tongue, and so they would stop taking it. But no, I wouldn't have to control the poison control center, because vitamins and herbs and minerals are extremely, like 1,000 times safer than pharmaceutical drugs. There's a few types of, supplements that you might have to call the poison control center, but for the most part, no, you won't have to do that, because our body knows how to work with those substances. It is not a drug. It is a healing tool. Okay. So completely safe. Also, exercise, diet, those are all safe, right? Sleep, those are all part of holistic health and healing. Completely safe, zero side effects. Now, let's talk about the effectiveness. The holistic approach is more effective. And the reason why we know this is because in my practice, and this is the experience of many holistic healers, when it comes to the conventional ways with the pharmaceutical drugs, as I said before, they don't deal with the root cause. They just mask symptoms. So, you might take a cough suppressant, let's say, for example, but if you are not dealing with the root cause, why are you coughing in the first place? Why do you have allergies? Why do you have the flu, etc.? Why is your immune system not strong enough to overcome this in just a few hours or just a day or two, overnight? Why? Because you have not built up your immune system. You haven't boosted it or lived the kind of life that you need to in order to avoid those common illnesses altogether. I have one of my students is a medical doctor, and she said that she used to take anti-allergy drugs every single week because of her allergies. The allergy drugs don't boost your immune system; they just suppress it. They just oppress your allergy symptoms. But when you have allergy symptoms, it's your body talking to you and telling you, hey, I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this thing that you're eating, or this environment that you've just stepped into because of my state of being. I'm not strong enough. That's what your immune system is saying to you. But I taught her a really powerful vitamin protocol that actually boosts your immune system so that your immune system is strong enough to overcome allergies. And so that's the difference. It is effective because it is true. It is true holistic health and healing because it strengthens your immune system. It doesn't silence it, like I said before. And the third issue is the root cause. Holistic health and healing deals with the root cause, and the conventional approach of drugs and surgery, etc., does not. That doesn't mean that you sometimes don't need surgery, for example, or in an emergency situation need a drug, but you're not dealing with the root cause. And if you deal with the root cause, you can make your problems either go away or become extremely minimal, safely, effectively, and naturally, without poisoning your body and causing the roller coaster of side effects.
Mayim, you have developed an incredible program that you've already mentioned called the Arukah Holistic Healer Certification Program, which you have specifically created for those looking to either transition into the holistic approach or for those who are wanting to grow in their knowledge and practice. Can you talk us through what differentiates this program from other similar programs that are currently out there?
Thank you, Ashley. Yes, the certification program at Arukah.com is really, truly incredible. And there's a few things that set it apart, actually, many things, but I'd like to focus on a few. And one of them is that when I designed the program, I designed it for someone who was in my situation many years ago, someone who was a busy mom who had a lot of work to do and a lot of things on her plate, but still wanted to empower herself with the knowledge of holistic health and healing for herself, for her family, so she could take care of her family, and maybe even build a career where, very specifically, she could stay at home and, just like me, be a stay-at-home mom. And, even a homeschool mom. I've been a homeschool mom. My oldest is 20 now, and I homeschooled him the whole way. And he's already graduated college, and he's got a computer science degree, and he's an entrepreneur himself. I instilled that dream in him. So being able to, I was able to surpass my income at NASA, and still homeschool my children. It's pretty awesome achievement. And so I wanted to empower people in my program to do exactly the same as I've done, to become a holistic healer, to have a successful online business so that they can have time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom, meaning that there's no glass ceiling. No one who you need to get a raise from. You just have to help people. That's how I get paid, is when I help people, right? And so that's one of the advantages. Another advantage is it's very hands-on and apprenticeship based. And you could go to a college to study to become a naturopathic doctor, or another holistic professional like a chiropractor. But it's going to take a lot more money, and a lot more time as well. This program can be completed in 1 year, but because all of my students pretty much are busy professionals already, or busy moms, it's self-paced. So if you have a lot of things on your plate, it's okay. It's still going to be there for you. There's not like a time limit. You're not going to, your grade's not going to be lowered because you submit an assignment late or anything like that. It's self-paced. And so I've designed it for the busy mom or the working woman. And another thing that sets it apart is we have three core pillars in our program. One is that our students study naturopathic herbalism, and that takes up the bulk of our program. And naturopathic herbalism includes studying the foundations of holistic health and healing, identifying toxins and detoxification, also nutrition and orthomolecular nutrition or megadose vitamin therapy, as well as herbalism, which includes also homeopathy and aromatherapy with essential oils. And also they study Ayurveda and traditional Chinese medicine. But it's mostly focused on Western medicine, Western herbalism, excuse me. And then the next core pillar, the second one, is holistic life coaching. And the reason why holistic life coaching is part of the program is to incorporate the mind spirit aspect of it, right? If herbs and supplements are the alternative to pharmaceutical drugs, well, holistic life coaching is like the holistic alternative to psychiatry. It deals with the mind and the spirit, and spirit has to be part of it because we are spiritual beings. We're not just physical beings. We're also spiritual beings. Now, a lot of holistic health and healing schools are based on, different religions, New Age or, other pagan religions. And this program, because I'm Jewish, is based on the Creator. It's based on the Bible and biblical principles, Judeo-Christian principles. And so therefore, I have a lot of people who are of that faith persuasion, Jews, Christians, or people who maybe, they don't really identify as Jewish or Christian, but they're open to it, or they grew up in that faith. And they don't necessarily want all the new age spirituality. They want the kind of spirituality that they are comfortable with and used to. That's another thing that sets us apart. And life coaching is all about mindset and how to have healthy relationships with yourself, with others. Of course, also, with food and your body and lifestyle. Holistic life coaching encompasses all of that. And it's a very important part of holistic health and healing, especially because stress is often the root cause of many illnesses, common illnesses, and also chronic diseases. So, that mind and spirit aspect is very important. And the third aspect is online business marketing. And again, the reason why that's important is because, as I told you, I really want my students to thrive and to be able to, have that time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom, which an online business provides. But also because, there's not a lot of jobs for herbalists, or life coaches even. And so we really have to be entrepreneurial. And it's very, very rewarding. And because of my background, with my digital marketing business, my first business, I can really help people in that department.
Thanks so much, Mayim. So I love the power of testimony and hearing people's personal experiences or journeys. Can you share some of the success stories that might be coming to mind or testimonials from past students?
Yes, we certainly have a lot of success stories and testimonials, and we'll show some of those testimonials at the end of our talk today in this video. But I could talk about a few of them that are maybe recent. One of them is one of my students. She told me that she wanted to become a nutritionist, but I guess her life's journey didn't really allow for that. So when she heard about my program, my certification program, when it first launched, she joined. And she really wanted to help her husband, who had been suffering from colitis under the care of doctors for about 20 years, ever since he was in the military. And he was going from medication to medication and, suffering with diarrhea and insomnia and restless legs and indigestion and, all these terrible things that colitis can cause. And so I actually created a custom module for her to help her husband with that. And in 2 months, she helped her husband get off the medication and heal from colitis using food and herbs and natural holistic healing methods. So that was a great accomplishment for her. And I get people, contacting me saying that I helped them grow their hair back, or actually someone said, "Oh, you helped save, you helped save a little girl's life." Just beautiful, wonderful things like that. You helped me heal my daughter. You helped me grow, um, regrow my teeth so I don't have pain from cavities anymore. Like just all these wonderful testimonies. And that's the reason why I love doing what I do. And and you will too, if you join the program. It's so rewarding and fulfilling to understand and to know that you are helping people, truly helping people in ways that they can't get in the modern medical system. It's so rewarding.
Incredible. Thank you so much for sharing that, Mayim. I can only imagine the sense of reward when people start applying these principles to their lives and actually see a change and transformation. And for somebody as passionate as you are around this topic, to witness that and to be a part of that, I imagine that the reward is priceless. Another common question that arises is, once someone completes the program, what are some of the practical steps one would take in order to start a successful career in holistic health?
Okay, that's a great question. And that's actually what the third pillar of our program is all about is, what do you do? Practical steps and what you would do to start a successful career in holistic health. And in that program, we teach our students how to create a high ticket transformational health coaching program that really helps people deal with a serious a problem, a serious health issue. And that doesn't mean that it's a deadly, problem, but it can be something that really affects their life, right? Even skin disorders can really affect your life, right? Even though it's not necessarily deadly. Weight loss could be something that is dealing with a serious issue. There's so many different types of health coaching programs that one can make, anxiety, depression, hormonal issues, etc. So they build, it's part of the program. They will do this while they're still in the program, and we'll support them the whole way. Is to build that first high ticket health coaching program, and then set up their online assets, such as their website, their social media, a video sales letter, press releases, podcasts, all those things that online entrepreneurs need in order to connect with people, get their message of health and healing out there, and build and grow and scale their business.
Thank you so much, Mayim. It's been so great talking with you today. But before we close, for those that would like to get started on the journey to becoming an holistic healer and wanting to learn a little bit more about the certification program, how do they go about contacting you?
Yes, it's been wonderful talking to you today as well. And for all those who would like to get started on their journey to become a holistic healer and learn more about the certification program, all they need to do is visit the website, www.arukah.com, ARUKAH.com, and dig into that and schedule a discovery call And I would love to be your mentor, your health coach, your teacher in guiding you to become a holistic healer, to become the healer of your home and your family and your community, and to help you build a profitable online health coaching business.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Mayim. So there we have it, folks. If you are ready to move forward in your own journey of becoming a holistic healer, then you can visit the website at www.arukah.com, where you can schedule your first discovery call. Thanks so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure.